I don't like to smile on a photo, like most people smile, you know. It's mostly artificial, right? Because there's someone who says smile or says cheese or something else, and so I cannot artificially smile. I look ridiculous. so, so so I don't know what to do, and that's why I don't like photos. So I just kind of look around. One of the things I always like to do, if you go up a mountain, let's say, and you find a stream or something, take your clothes off and go swimming. Even if it's very cold or whatever, do it. Photographing things is okay, but actually immersing yourself in the moment, I always found that it brings more lasting memories, you know. What do you say? What? Speak up a little louder because my ear is plugged this morning. The accent is on the puss. Not papous, but papous. I walk like a bear. My mother used to walk like this. And of course now I have a bad knee, so I limp a little bit. But my normal walk was like a bear, going like this, you know. In Greek, the name is pronounced Nikolaos Janes, not Janes, but Janes, Janes. I was born June 30th, 1937. My father was Michael. My mother's name was Stavroula. It's a Christian name meaning cross, basically. My father was a director of an orphanage. We lived in orphanages. I was the only guy in the orphanage that had parents. First of all, the U.S. had helped defeat the Germans, so there was always an admiration. I saw an ad one day that says there will be interviews to pick 2 students to go to the United States and live with an American family. So I decided to go without telling my parents. One time they had like an intervention where they gathered the whole family. They put me in a room, they tried to convince me not to go to the United States. And I listened to all of that and I said, forget it, I'm going. You can't stop me. Because I came early, I came at the age of 17, I have totally embraced, without having lost my Greek culture, I've totally embraced and love every aspect of American life myself. Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The first song, I'm not sure whether it was just before I left for the United States or during the trip. All we knew about the States was whatever we saw in cowboy movies. I came up with this song. The best part of the song is the lyrics, of course, as always. Cowboy, may I have a glass of wine? 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 Come tomorrow, come tomorrow, come tomorrow and have a glass of wine. Come tomorrow, come tomorrow, come tomorrow and have a glass of wine. Cowboy, may I have a cup of tea? 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 Come tomorrow, come tomorrow, come tomorrow and have a cup of tea. come tomorrow, come tomorrow, and have a cup of tea. As you can see, it's the type of song that goes on forever. I ended up going to Mankato, Minnesota, a small town south of Minneapolis. The Greek high schools, first of all, totally emphasize studies. And you come to the United States and you see that the high school is not only a center of studying, but it's a social center as well. I was a very popular student in high school because I was the only foreign student in that high school. So I was kind of like a celebrity in the Mankato High School. So of course this meant that all the girls were after me. There was a dance in the spring where the girls asked the boys, not vice versa. And Jax, my brother's girlfriend, asked me to go, asked me to the dance, okay? So there's all this, after he found out, he became very upset. The first dinner we had after he found out, he was angry and he wouldn't talk. And his mother says, "What is going on, Jack?" He says, "Well, there is competition under the same roof." The year that I met Lita was when I actually moved from Mankato, the small town, to the University of Minnesota. I'm in the, I think, second semester, 1957. My roommate comes in one day, I was studying, he says, "Hey, there is a ball, a dance downstairs." So he says, "Why don't you go downstairs, see maybe you can find a girl to dance with." So I went downstairs, took a break from studying. I went down there and started dancing with her. And my roommate told me sometime later that I said when I came back up that this is the girl I'm going to marry. It was kind of a love at first sight on my part. She was a lovely little thing, you know, a mixture of Filipino and Irish. And I kind of fell in love right away, I guess. I would say it's only in storybooks you read that kind of thing, you know. It's not in real life, but yes. You want to warm up the whole soup?
No.
Yeah, you can't live without the microwave if you like hot food. We forgot the silverware. Potato salad goes outside?
Yes. Did you take all the silverware?
Well, I have only 2 forks here, but I have 4 spoons. Oh boy. The way you eat them is like this. Well, you can actually peel them like a banana too. See, you go like this. See, now you can. That's the way you eat those. It's the nap time, you know, in the Mediterranean custom that makes you live longer. The secret to longevity, that's the nap. And that's not just an opinion, even the Harvard studies show that. Kids don't like to take naps, you know that, right? By singing a song, and maybe you can induce them to do so. So this is the napping song. Napping time for Michael and the troops. Napping time once more. we'll all get rested an hour or so. Napping time again. And now cut. I always remember that you would ask after we sang it, before you went to bed, you know, this song goes, napping time for Maxwell and the troops. So you say, after the song was over, who are the troops, Yaya? You'd ask, you ask Lita, who are the troops? And every time she would explain to you until you finally understood what the troops were. I want to show you this because this is, as you can see, Lita and I are very young here. The picture is a little bit black and white, faded. I would have to guess that this is in our 20s.
So you might not be married yet in that picture?
Yes, we might not be married yet. It was a stormy romance, yes. I kept asking her to marry me many times, and she wouldn't say yes. We were always in love. She just was afraid to marry me because of this a stranger, a foreigner, that kind of thing. So finally, when she said yes, I think it was an evening at her house. We were in the couch making out, as you, if you want to call that. And then she said, I think I would want to marry you. I said, don't you want to get a ring? I didn't have any money, so I can get you a ring. She said, oh, don't worry about it. Lita paid for her own ring. I had to work very hard to accumulate money to continue with my education. I worked like a dog, you could say. In the summer, I had 2 jobs. I started at 7 o'clock in the morning until 10 o'clock at night. Lita, by the way, throughout all this time, she worked as a nurse. The first hospital she walked in, she would get a job. After we got married, we had our first child, Michael, the oldest son. And after I got a PhD, became a professor, Marcos came in '67 and Alexis in '68. I'm not a bragging type of guy, and I never really put up, for example, the Institute of IEEE, the Institute of Electrical, and I never even framed my PhD. I would teach courses in communication systems, information theory, advanced communication systems. I've written maybe close to 15 books. In Greece, in fact, I was one of the most popular professors. Most of the professors would teach elective classes, and they would have 5 students, and I would have 150. A good professor is not a guy who has a lot of knowledge. It's actually a guy who is a good performer. Humphrey Bogart and what's her name there? He's looking at you, kid. Good name, my dear Lord, is the immediate jewel of your soul. He who steals my purse steals trash. It was mine, now it is his. And he's become slave to thousands. But he who filches from you your good name, he robs you of that which does not enrich him and makes you poor indeed. I was fired in academic institutions twice, 3 times. At Tufts, I was fired because I came into conflict with the chairman. He was a tyrannical despot. And I found another job and went to the University of Oklahoma, where also I had the similar problems, this time with the dean. I'm the kind of a guy that if you ask me to do something, I'll have to say why. I'm a contrarian, so to speak. If you come up with something for a discussion, I'll take the opposite point of view just for the sake of the argument. I love a good argument, so that might be one of my bad characteristics. The fact that I kept getting fired from jobs because of my personality, perhaps I started thinking maybe I don't want to be such a rebel. We developed over the years distinct roles in the family. Lita would take care of everything to do with the house, the cooking. She would knit them clothes. She was a seamstress. I did more with the kids as they grew a little older and they started being more active. Then I came in and started, doing sports with them, games. Nothing. I just want to put them on. That's all. It's not easy to even put your shoes on at this age. Do you know that? I don't know how I'm going to get it on that. Okay. Great, thank you. Thank you, sweetheart. Thank you, sweetheart. Okay, are you ready to face the monster? I'll be 82 in June 30th. My kids never complained. We moved around from Tufts to Oklahoma to Greece. They never complained. They were always happy to go to a new place and make new friends. When Michael was a little boy, he was a very reasonable child. If you wanted him to do something, all you had to do, sit him down on the couch and explain to him. He behaved like an adult. You wouldn't have to talk baby talk to him. You just talk to him, you converse with him at the age of 3 or 4, and he was fine. Of course, then Marcos came later. If you say, Marcos, today you're going to go out to eat and you're going to have a babysitter, Marcos' response would be, no, I want my mommy. No. He wanted to be a giraffe, okay? Whenever you ask, what do you want to be when you grow up? He wanted to be a giraffe. Before he was able to talk, we all noticed once in a while he would utter a phrase-like thing. The phrase I still remember was Isialgan. I heard it one time, I heard another. You know, he sit there and Isialgan. So we, what does Isialgan mean, you know? Alexis is a rare breed of an individual that has immense patience. I remember I got him one of these toys from Mexico where there is a point like this, and then there is a thing that comes over it with a string, and you have to flip it and it will, okay? He spent hours until he perfected this thing, you know, and he could do it. He got on these Rubik cubes, he disappeared for 3 days. You go blip, 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 there. All 3 of my sons are still friends, and they don't argue about anything, you know. If they argue something about a point in tennis, yes, but nothing major. I mean, they're always together, their families get together, the grandkids are together and so on. Have I changed any behaviors for Lita? That's a good one. I think so. You know, there's when you live with a person that long, in order to have harmony, you will eventually what they call a compromise. You know, you will reach a compromise in order to be able to live a harmonious life. After we retired, Lita and I decided that we love to travel. We crisscrossed the United States, I think, 12 times. We went to England and went all over to Ireland, ferry boat to Germany and traveled around Germany and Bavaria and all kinds of places, through the romantic road and through Switzerland and back to Greece. So we've been all over the place. We never turned the music on in the radios, in the car. We always talked to each other all this time, and we never listened to music. And it was unbelievable that we often talked about it. You know, you want to listen to music? No, we'd rather talk, you know, and communicate with each other. Lita is a very rare personality. She was an extremely nice person, okay? She never raised her voice. Very loving person, without hatred for people. What can I say? I mean, I could not find a defect. I couldn't tell you that this person was great, but he had this particular defect. She didn't. There was deep love here, okay? So your whole life for 53, 56 years, you're talking a long time you were with a person you really loved, and we did everything together, you know. We very seldom were apart. The one time when we were in Greece for the summer, she fell and broke her collarbone, and we took her in for a physical. And the doctor said that she thinks she has Parkinson's. The disease progressed quite slowly. It wasn't until the last year that she needed a lot of care. Her mind never deteriorated, but her speech deteriorated. She couldn't speak anymore. We traveled even with the Parkinson's, and she would take these drugs, which will relieve some of her symptoms, but she was able to live with the Parkinson's. It took place gradually. You know, when she started, she couldn't control her hands, so she couldn't really cook and things like that. We had to change our lives. The last year or so, when she started having difficulty taking care of her own body, is when my care intensified. They tested for oxidation, and they said she was not oxidated anymore. The Parkinson's had progressed to the point where she couldn't breathe. So she stayed in the hospital for 2 more weeks. All three kids were there, I think. So the doctor said it's about time that you want to decide maybe whether you want to take her off the breathing machine and let her die in peace, you know, because she's not going to be able to breathe on her own. And we got together and said, yes, I think, you know, it's time to let her die in peace. She was trying to say something. We couldn't understand what she was saying after they took her off the breathing machine because she couldn't talk anymore. Finally, we got with some gestures and all that she wanted to know where her suitcase was so that she can prepare to go home, because we told her it's time to go home, you know. So we told her, okay, you go sleep now, and when you wake up, we are going to take you home. And she never woke up, of course. The doctor said if she goes to sleep, she's not going to wake up again, and that's how she died.
My dad described to me, he said that you say you cry now, of course, when you think about her, but he said he actually never heard you cry before in his entire time growing up. But during that day, you had you cried, right? But it was an
Probably so, yeah.
It was a unique cry, he said. Do you know what he meant by that?
No, I don't remember it actually.
No?
No. Say that again? So this is what it looks like from the curb. Has a lot of curb appeal, as they call it, right? All this tiling was done by Lita. She bought the tiles and she placed them. She's very good at this. Professional job. It's very nice to just sit here and ponder the issues of life. Existence, the point of existence. I was just one of the lucky persons that I fell in love with Lita, and we were compatible for 53 years. Never lost interest to each other's desires, and we had nice children. It's almost a storybook situation that I think happens very seldom. This is what's left of a bench. And you used to sit with Lita and you thought you were in the wild forest, jungle. So you called it a jungle. I consider myself extremely lucky in life that the first lucky thing was that I got the scholarship to come to the United States. Had I stayed in Greece, I probably would end up with a mediocre job that I didn't get until I was 40, like all my classmates, you know. I found a beautiful flower here. You know, I have been a lucky guy. If you look carefully here, you can see the future in there. You can read the flowers, they read tea leaves. And I see celebrity status coming up for you guys. You're becoming giants in your field. What do I see? A couple of giants in here walking around Hollywood Boulevard, stepping on their own stars. Yes, indeed. There is no better satisfaction in life than having a career, a good career, and then successful kids, believe me. We would often say to each other, well, we were able to do it. You and I raised these kids, and you know. The perpetuation of the human race is not just biologically producing offspring, but strengthening the tribe that you belonged in many ways. And I contributed to all these different ways. So I feel like I've accomplished my mission the way I have defined it, and now I'm ready to die. I'm just enjoying my existence until I'm dead. And I don't mind if I die tomorrow. I did my part. I enjoyed life since retirement. What else is there? Come on here. I picked up this flower in the forest there, and I thought I would present it to my new beloved. This is a flower. Oh, you destroyed it. A flower for the flower. It's. We think it's a bird of paradise. Okay. In some ways, I'm still lucky, because at this age that I am, I was able to find another lady. I have some companionship now, and I'm not a burden to my own kids. You're a good-looking woman. You want to be on this?
No.
Huh?
It's really about my dearest husband, not about.
I think she's fine with it. You know, she doesn't try to compete, or she doesn't ever mention, well, you know, maybe this or maybe that, and maybe I'm not doing this better than Lita and so on. But she has accepted the fact that I am still, I still, you know, think of Lita. She has to live with the ghost, as I said, of Lita all over the house here. And of course, I try not to bring up the issue. I mean, I just live with it, the remembrances within my heart without vocalizing them or anything like that. So. I'm looking at the camera. What does that do?
It's good.
Okay. I look at the camera, I look at you guys. Is there some particular reason why we're doing this?
When you look in the camera,
Yeah.
we're gonna have a voiceover. You'll be talking over this, so don't worry. You just silently look at the
Okay,
camera.
I keep looking at the camera. Lita, if you're anywhere, because we never know, right? And you are listening to all this, we did it. Yeah, even Max here, we did it.
All right.
That's it.